carb or not to carb? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in fuel delivery to use electronic injection or to let the force of gravity pull down the gasoline. Well, I got the carburetor. I've talked to a couple of you guys and I appreciate your comments. I don't know whether to go full carb or to try and fix the electronic fuel injection on the center fuel injection thing. I'm kind of at a dilemma here, so we'll see what we can come up with, I suppose. It's kind of neat though, very shiny. I like that. Okay, I've been doing a lot of research, and when I say a lot, I mean actually quite a number of hours, either watching YouTube videos or finding online forums on how to do an EFI to carb swap. And from everything I'm reading, you also need to change the intake manifold, which is the top portion of the engine that goes right under the carburetor. And I don't know. I kind of feel like this project is kind of getting away from me, and because I really want to see the car run. That's kind of my big thing that I'm looking for, and I haven't been able to really see that yet. And I think that if we keep going down this road of carburetor, that goal is going to keep getting away from us, because on top of changing the intake manifold, you've also got to pull all of the electrical components, which, you know, I'm fine with, but I do like, it's got to have AC. I mean, it has to have AC, and I really want it to not lose cruise control, which I like. So, and like, I've just been reading, and it's like, you know, if you have an engine built for, you know, EFI and you change it to carb, like, there's some problems you can have with that in terms of drivability and such like that. So, I mean, I really do want to move it to carb if possible, but I think that might be a project that would best be taken on later, because it's really, you know, I don't want it to get away from me, is what I'm trying to tell you. So I figured that getting a table, which I had an old card table at my house, would be a good way to kind of organize most of this stuff. So have it on the table, so at least I don't have to, you know, bend over quite as much to pick it off the ground, and it's a little bit more together. I've got the tools over here and some in this toolbox, which was just a cheap little one from Wally World, but you know, it's old and all the stuff, I guess. So hopefully organization will help speed the process along. Okay, so the carburetor isn't quite fitting because it has there's this sensor here that hits the back of the regular carburetor, so I can't put that in. So I suppose I'm going to have to go with the EFI carb that was on there initially, which is okay, because it's going to be like just so much. There's just so much stuff. Why is there so much stuff? It's but the carburetor, the EFI one. I have it out, and here it is. Now, the fuel injectors, or these things, these are not cheap. This is like $120, which is really, really pricey. But that was, in fact, more expensive than the entire setup I got for the carburetor. Oh, and I think to put a carburetor in, I've got to get a new distributor and a new intake manifold. So that would actually raise the price above these guys. All right, so in order to replace those fuel injectors, I've got to take this base plate off, because you can't get to them. You can't get them out because they've got a little ring on them, because this just has to be designed as difficult as possible. And of course, the screws are not coming out, so I've been juicing them up with water displacement on the 40th try compound. But these two came out okay. These two are still completely stuck, and I don't know what to do. And to be honest with you, it's really a frustrating situation. Like, it's extraordinarily upsetting. So I think that it's good to do this kind of work, because we just often don't encounter things that frustrate us this much, and it's good to learn how to kind of feel those emotions and kind of get over them, because it's just enormously, like, I can't express to you how upsetting it is. But that's okay. We're moving on. Probably, you know, I don't know where this project is going at this point. I am just trying my best to get this whole engine thing to kind of run. And I think the best way to do that is to get these back on, because my real car, the 2018 Ford Focus I have, the computer's all screwed up on it, and the parts are on back order for a unknown TBD amount of time. So if I can't get this running, I don't have a car. So that's some irony you could cut your teeth on. We'll get back to you. Okay. So at this point, I have put on a carburetor. It's not bolted down or anything quite yet. So, but it did fire, and it ran for a few seconds, and it looks shiny. So I have not been able to get the screws out of the other one, which is over here. I have not been able to get the screws out of this one, which is the original one that was in the car, despite kind of dousing these with brake cleaner. They just refuse to turn, and if I can't get that plate off, I cannot get those fuel injectors out. So, I mean, I would need to get a new one of these with all its electrical gizmos and gadgets. So since we've had better luck with the carb than anything else we've tried so far, I think we're probably going to move ahead with that as the way to go, because we can remove a lot of this stuff in here if we can get that working. That is going to require quite a bit of research, though, and ordering some new parts, but those won't be in for a while, so we might have to put a pin on getting the engine running at this point. So kind of my thought process in the meantime, until we can figure out the engine, is maybe clean up these wheels, take a wire brush to them and spray them with some Rust-Oleum, and make sure that they're, you know, nice and look good. The tires, they're really, you know, they're supposed to have cracks in them, right? So they hold air, thankfully, so, but probably we'll need to get some new tires as well. And, you know, last, brakes. The original reason that I took the car to Adam, my brother, was for the brake job, so might need to get those done. So I'm thinking, what if we do all that while we're waiting for the intake manifold, the distributor, to kind of come in. I'm also going to need to get a plate that converts the intake manifold from a 4-barrel version, because I can't find a 2-barrel version, to a 2-barrel version, which I think they make. So I don't know, I've got a lot of stuff to figure out. Hello everyone, Happy New Year. 1st of January, and in Texas, don't need a jacket. Parts of Texas. Okay, so where we're at right now is I have the carburetor kind of bolted on. This isn't going to be the final look of it because I've gotten some new parts. So I need to figure out how to make this work, and it's rather complicated. So to aid me in that, I've created a list of things to do. Brakes, I guess, should be at the bottom, but you know, that's fine. So first thing I want to try and tackle is painting the wheels, which I've never done before, so let's see if YouTube was correct in that. So the first step in things to do on painting the wheels is to get them, oh, I guess I need to take those off. Stand by. So as I was saying, the first step is going to be to take the wheel weights off. These balance the wheel when you're driving, so won't be needing those for a while. You can just kind of maybe pry them up. I don't know. There's not really a place to get in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of moving. Well, I'm bending the metal. That's not helpful. Maybe if I let some air out? Alright, so we ended up getting these off by using a couple of different methods. We put an axe blade under it, and also little Tanya Harding, just the 2200 type, and then a screwdriver, and all we had to do was get under it and then pry it up. The best way I found was to put the screwdriver between the wall and the piece of metal on the wheel weight, and then just kind of hammer that down, and then you could pry it up and then use the claws on the hammer to lift it up. So that, I think, is the best way to get the wheel weights out. Now we're on to the cleaning portion. So I'm going to take this little whirly-woo and well, not that one, but go around and make sure all the rust is out, and then spray it down with some brake cleaner and wipe it off with a towel, and that should prepare the surface for the Rust-Oleum and then the black paint. Let me start taking care of that. This is not as easy to use as you would think. Now, I don't think you need to get every speck of rust off. You just need to knock off the top layer so the Rust-Oleum can do its magic. This one works much better than this one so far. We ended up getting the wheel weights off and then using the whirly-woo to clean the rust off of the tire, which took about 15 minutes for one tire. We then put playing cards around the rim of the tire and spray painted it using some Rust-Oleum, and I kind of want you to take a look at the results for yourself. So the tire on the left is untouched, and the tire on the right has been sprayed down with Rust-Oleum. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's quite a bit cleaner and looks nice, and hopefully will provide a good strong wheel for years to come. That will be the goal. You know, we're moving along, but it's really tough to work in starts and fits. Like, you only have, you know, 2-3 hours here, an hour there, and you got to stop and drag everything in, drag it all out. So that's really been a challenge in terms of getting forward momentum going, and then just having to stop for the holidays, which are, you know, wonderful, and you should take time to spend that with your family, but it's just, you know, I really want to get this going, and it's not moving as quickly as I'd like, but we'll kind of see where it takes us, I guess. You know, what else can you do? Well, keep your power tools charged. Switching to manual. paint the tire. We're going to start off with some playing cards and just ring it around the rim, and then put down a layer of that Rust-Oleum, down a layer of the primer, and then down a layer of the black. Let's see how that looks. So you just kind of slide these in. Because what you're looking to do is stop excess spray from getting on your tire. So just kind of plug them in all the way around the rim, and theoretically that'll do something. All right, done. Now, for a little bit of Rust-Oleum. And then just let that dry, I guess. Yeah, this is a brand new tire. In regards to the list of things to do, it still keeps growing, but we're trying to knock off what we can. We've got order parts done, check, and gas tank, check. We still have brakes, paint, wheels, still got 3 of those to do. The intake manifold, carburetor, which that's going to be tricky. Clean paint the valve covers, try and get that on the next time. Put the distributor in, hopefully simple, maybe not. Put the dash cap on, that should hopefully be an easy one. Remove old electronics, yikes. Fuel line, got to finish that up. Did take a coffee break. Headliner, get a new one of those. Clean the interior, change the water neck, the happy and the sad cables, repair the vinyl roof as best we can, and then polish the chrome, and it should be good to go. So I think we've come a fair bit of ways. It's really tough to do this if you don't know what you're doing, because it's slow work, and it takes time going back and from the store and trying to make sure you have everything that you need to be successful. And it can be frustrating because you're also not sure what you're doing, but if you stick at it, I don't know, I think I'm kind of making some progress. I know some of you, Eli, not too happy that I switched it to carbureted, but I think that's going to be, in the long run, a better thing. I wasn't having any trouble with the engine, and it was running fine. And it's been now 4 years. Woof-da. So I think that any ghosts that are in the system we'd have to be chasing anyway. So I'm excited to see how that works. We did fire it up with the carburetor on. It's not really on there, but it kind of is, but it kind of squirts gas, so that's okay. And it did run for 4 seconds, which is a victory. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you next time, and we'll hopefully finish up painting the wheels and getting those valve covers painted, and maybe start working on some of the electrical and intake. If you guys have any thoughts on what I should do, please let me know. Okay, well, bye.